This is CineMatch, a new camera matching solution from the guys at FilmConvert.
This is a CineD Gear News video.
Welcome everybody to this CineD Gear News video. Today we're talking to CineMatch, and the guys behind CineMatch are the guys you might already know from FilmConvert. It's John and Sam. How are you guys?
We're great. Thanks very much for having us.
Thank you.
We're actually I'm talking to the other side of the world. You guys are located in New Zealand, so thanks for staying up in the office a bit later than usual.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, of course. I mean, we've talked about CineMatch, I think, was it 1.5 years ago or 1 year ago at IBC or NAB? I can't remember.
That's right, yeah. CineMatch has been 4 years in development. I think we first announced it at NAB in 2017 when we had a prototype to show off. And then last year at NAB, we had the first cut of the Premiere plugin to kind of demonstrate on some test footage. So yeah, it's been a long journey to get here, but we have a public version ready for people to download and try out.
So amazing. So for people who haven't seen any of our videos of the interviews we did with you guys before, what is CineMatch?
CineMatch is a camera matching workflow solution for all filmmakers out there who work on multicam projects. We know it's a solution that people have been looking for a long time because all digital cameras record pictures slightly differently. And if you're shooting multicam projects, you'll know that matching that footage up in post is a really time-consuming task. So we've designed CineMatch to help speed up that process so you can spend more time on the creative side of grading.
Great. I mean, that's you're addressing really something that a lot of people have to deal with. Everybody has more than one camera now. Most of the interviews that I shoot are shot with 2 or 3 cameras, but very often you're using different brands and models simply because you can't afford to have 3 of the same kind, or you simply use what you have, and then it's very hard to match them. So this is what CineMatch is about. But before we start talking about CineMatch and the details of how it works, FilmConvert, the software has been around for quite a while now as well. And actually, I used FilmConvert very often for a similar purpose. So you were downloading the camera packs for each camera and then trying to match the look of those cameras. So where do you think, why can't people use simply FilmConvert to normalize everything and make them the same look?
So basically, FilmConvert converts your camera to a film emulation. And some people just don't want the look of film, or they want the ease of being able to transfer their footage straight to the look that is coming from their A-cam, so that they can then go with a seamless timeline to the creative grade. So it's taken a step back from the film emulation and just transferring your footage straight to the look of the camera that you're targeting.
That's great. Let's dive into how CineMatch works. How do you guys actually match those cameras in the software? And is it a plugin? Is it a standalone software and all these things?
So CineMatch, it's going to be a plugin for Premiere Pro, DaVinci Resolve, Final Cut Pro. So it's going to be the first thing you do once you bring your footage into your project, add it to the timeline, and we've made it basically a kind of guided workflow. So it's going to take you through the steps to match up your footage. The first step is a sensor match. So you tell the CineMatch what you shot your footage on. Say you've got footage from a Blackmagic Pocket, and you tell it simply what camera you want to target. So say you want to make it look like Sony a7 III S-Log, you simply choose your source, choose your target, and CineMatch performs an automatic conversion in the software to convert it. So now you're looking at S-Log footage, and then you can grade it from there however you like.
Great. How many cameras are supported?
We've got over 60 cameras available in the software at launch, and we're going to be adding more cameras every month. So we've got the new Sony a7S III coming out. We've got the Canon R5, and yeah, we'll be adding more and more cameras as CineMatch develops.
That's great. So basically, I'm sure that people have to shoot in log, right, to get the maximum latitude, so it's easier for the software to match?
Yeah, currently we have only log profiles and raw profiles that can be transcoded as log. We're looking into the future to add more profiles, but right now with it, the first round is going to be just log profiles.
I'm looking more closely at how it works. I know that actually matching camera is quite a difficult task. I mean, this is something that colorists have been working with for a very long time, and obviously it has been a human process for the longest time for a reason. Because I mean, we all know those matching functions that NLEs have, and some also color grading programs, and they all have their faults actually. I mean, I don't know if you ever used the matching function in Final Cut Pro 10. I've never actually made it work that it's actually matching the look of two cameras. It never really looks the same. So is CineMatch going beyond the simple like tonal curve comparison kind of thing? And is there some kind of artificial intelligence going on, or how do you analyze the footage?
Well, no. The strength of CineMatch is really our unrivaled library of camera data. That is really the backbone of the sensor match. We have millions of data points of color data from each camera that's within our library. So the transform comes from that, but it's also a full workflow tool. So we've got white balance sliders and exposure sliders that are attuned to the camera that you're using at the time. And then we've added a match refinement tool that allows you to click on one color and quickly change it to another. So we understand that there's sometimes going to be a few more steps to matches, but we've broken it down to make it as quick and easy as possible.
Interesting. So what makes it different from other camera matching solutions is the knowledge of what the footage looks like, right?
For many years we've been gathering this camera data as well, because we've used it to build our profiles for FilmConvert. So we know exactly how this camera sees color, and we always gather the same information from each camera. So we've got this huge library of camera data that we were able to create a CineMatch engine to generate transforms that are very accurate. That's
great. You already mentioned what cameras are supported, but talking about availability, are you gonna sell the whole thing with all the plugins for different NLEs as a package, or are there separate purchases? Is it a subscription? Is it a one-time purchase?
It's going to be a one-time purchase, so there's no recurring or subscription fees. You'll also be able to buy it once and use it. And again, that'll include all of the extra cameras that we add over the coming years. So CineMatch will kind of continue growing with you. There'll be the Premiere Pro plugin is going to be available for sale first in a very short time. And you'll be able to purchase that. There will be a separate plugin license for DaVinci Resolve, and again for Final Cut Pro, hopefully before the end of the year. And eventually we'll have a bundle license, so you'll be able to pay a kind of discount amount and get access to all the CineMatch plugins for every platform, so you can take it from project to project wherever you are.
Great, and it's kind of complementary to FilmConvert, right? So the FilmConvert functionality would be applied, if you have FilmConvert as well, you would apply the look as a next step after matching your cameras.
Correct. We see it as you would color correct with CineMatch first, and then you could create a creative grade with FilmConvert afterwards. They really go hand in hand.
Okay. If you just one thing that comes to mind, if there's, for example, if you set your white balance incorrectly on one of the cameras, are you still able to match it to the other ones?
So that's with our white balance and tint sliders. We've made sure that each one takes you to the native white point of the camera. So you will be able to, more accurately than other sliders, you'll be able to use a combination of temperature and tint. And we include an automatic white balance picker in the plugin so that you can then fix the white balance afterwards.
That's great. Yeah, so how can people find out more and actually see it working?
Yeah, you can download the free trial from cinematch.com right now. It's got a watermark on it, but it has support for all of the cameras included. So you can download it and start using it on projects today.
Great. We're looking forward to testing it and also comparing it to other solutions that didn't work as well for us before. So I'm sure I have high hopes for CineMatch.
Yeah, we've put a lot of time in this over the past 4 years, but we think this is really going to speed up the color grading process for a lot of people, and it's even going to breathe new life into cameras that you might already have on the shelf. We had one user who had an old Sony camera that he was planning on selling. And now, since he got CineMatch, he started using it to match to his newer cameras. And he said to us, hey, I can actually get another 2 years of life out of this camera. I don't need to upgrade my camera this year, because CineMatch was like a color science upgrade for his camera.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's really something that everybody needs. I mean, I used to shoot a TV show with 4 cameras, where for budget reasons we used actually 3 different models. And it was just a pain because we had to hire a colorist to come up with, you know, something similar actually, to kind of come up with profiles that work, so at the end they could put it together and it looks the same, because it's always going to be the same process. But it never really worked out perfectly. So there was always some manual process that had to be applied. So if that couldn't be sped up by CineMatch, done automatically, because it knows what the camera footage looks like, that would be ideal, of course.
Yeah, that's what we're hoping. We're going through a beta process with the Resolve version at the moment, so we're constantly listening to feedback from users on how well it's matching their footage, how much it's if it's speeding up their process, how it compares to them doing it manually. And so we'll be going through a kind of feedback process with users as they try it out. And then we'll also be using that information to help guide us on what cameras we should profile next.
Cool. Is it actually working in real time? Like, can you apply it and already play back the footage?
Yeah, absolutely. It supports metal GPU acceleration on the kind of newest hardware. So yeah, unless you're editing like 6K or 8K footage, then yeah, you should get some pretty good performance.
Great. Is it Mac? Is it only for Mac or also for PC?
Nope, it's for Mac and Windows.
All right, I think we've covered everything. You've mentioned the availability, so Premiere will be first, right?
Yep, followed by DaVinci Resolve very soon, and Final Cut Pro hopefully by the end of the year.
Great. We see more and more people switching to DaVinci Resolve for editing as well, so we're looking forward to that. And our internal processes now also run on DaVinci, so we look forward to trying it out. Thank you guys. Thanks for taking the time. And yeah, we'll definitely review CineMatch on CineD.com, so please stay tuned. And also stay tuned to our YouTube channel for more gear news videos in the coming weeks. It's September, which is supposedly IBC time, but of course, because it's 2020, nothing actually happens in real life in terms of trade shows. So we're trying to put it online, and we'll provide you with a lot of other interviews like this one about new products. Thank you guys to New Zealand, and that's it.